Scousers, lads and lasses. The Scousers have just battered us. The friggin' Scousers. It's an absolute travesty. It's a disgrace. We just lost to the Scousers. They totally dominated us. We were second best. United are just shit at the moment, man. Liverpool are in a real good at the moment. Good manager, good squad, good way of playing football. We're stuck with that Portuguese Mr. Bean who doesn't know anything. He set us up too negatively today. We're going there, yeah, okay. I thought we actually defended pretty well up until their second goal, blocks and all. But they were just all over us, man. We don't have any bollocks going forward whatsoever. He's way too negative for this football club. He doesn't fit this football club whatsoever. All props to Liverpool. I hate the Scousers, but I have to say right now, they're just a force and they've got a chance of winning the Premier League. I haven't been able to say that for years because they're a joke, banana skin, slippy G side. But at the moment, they're not. At the moment, they're a much better outfit than United. And there's a number of reasons for that. Yeah, they do have talented players. They've invested quite heavily in the last couple of seasons. But I think the most important thing about Liverpool, the reason that they're so much better than United at the moment, which is a travesty in itself, bloody Sir Alex Ferguson watching that part of shit, is that they've just got a much better manager than us. I hate to say it, but he's progressive, he's attacking. He's not in the same generation as Mourinho, he's in the generation after. I think Mourinho's maybe just a bit too freaking old school to mix with these younger lads these days, He's like a late Muhammad Ali, he should have stopped early on. And he's just taking blows to the head at the moment, Jose, or at least I wish he was, because maybe we can knock some sense into him and try and get him to match the philosophy of this great club we call Manchester United. But he doesn't get it. So there's only one option now, it's get rid of him. I mean, come on, the board are having a mare keeping him around now. It's not going to get any better. Why are we riding this out? Why are we riding the shitstorm out? It's not going to get any better. He's clearly not the man for the job. He's clearly not big enough for the job. He clearly looks too much like Mr. Bean. He's not the right fit for United. I keep saying it. It's clear. His defensive negative style doesn't complement the players we've got in our squad, doesn't play to our strengths. We don't play the nice, elegant football that we used to. We just got a bunch of big, tall lads who can't knock it around and save their life. Did you see that performance today, man? In midfield especially, it was so bad. Where's the freaking killer ball? Where's the transition? Where's the getting the ball into attack? We couldn't barely do that. Yeah, we had a few counters and stuff like that. We had to because Liverpool were all over us. They really went for it. They know how to attack. They cut us open time and time again. And United, we can't do that under Jose Mourinho at least. We have actually got the attacking players to do that. That's what really pisses me off more than anything because Jose is so negative and so rigid. He's not prepared to try something else. Yet the players that we have in our squad, it doesn't suit a defensive style. It doesn't suit a backs-to-the-wall defensive job, park the bus shite that Jose Mourinho likes to do. It doesn't fit that. What it fits is getting it forward to players, players like Martial, Rashford, get it up to Lukaku, he can cause problems. He's a goal machine for other clubs. It's Jose is the problem. So I'm sorry, I keep saying it, but he has got to go now. The board probably won't get rid of him, although I'm sure they would have done by now if they were going to, because he's had lots of money, lots of signings. I mean, Shaqiri was freaking quality player, isn't he? Your mum is your nan. Everyone you know in your family knows that Xherdan Shaqiri is a quality player, man. We're out there signing shite players for significant amounts of money. Players, good players, but they haven't really lived up to anything. Shaqiri's come in, piss all money, doing the business for them, quality player. I said we should have freaking gone for him before there was any sniff about it. So, it's like, Jose, you've got your opportunities, mate. You've had your opportunities. You could have signed players. You could have signed players that had a bigger impact. Unfortunately, you didn't do that. There's news going around, Pogba wasn't a Jose Mourinho sign and he was part of a different deal. He wasn't approved by Jose Mourinho. Bullshit, mate. So were a bunch of the other players weren't as well. You've got to work your magic with them, get the best out of them. Thankfully, that useless bastard was on the bench today anyway. But I must say, the time has come when Liverpool are that much better than you. When Liverpool are 19 points! 19 points! 19 points, and it's freaking not even Christmas yet. 19, when's that ever happened? 19 points ahead of Manchester United at this stage of the season. Something is seriously wrong. Because, yeah, the Scousers have always been a good top side, and historically the second best team in England, behind the mighty Manchester United. But at the moment, they're miles ahead of us. They're miles ahead of us in terms of style of football, quality football, entertaining football that the fans are getting trekked to every week. They're miles ahead of us in terms of their manager, I think. I just think he's got his finger on the pulse at the moment. Kloppy knows how to play football, knows how to play attacking football. This season, they've not flooded so many numbers forward. They've improved at the back. They're a better outfit. They're looking like it. They could well go on and lift a trophy this season. And they would deserve it up until this point of the season anyway. Them and Man City, I think maybe Man City still just have that little bit of extra consistency than Liverpool. But at this moment in time, they are top. I mean, we had one job today, and that's to stop those Scousers from going top of the table. Not that it really matters, because the two teams that are fighting for it are our mortal bloody enemies, which makes it even worse. But the fact is, we're just miles behind Liverpool. They're such a better team than us. They have such better players, and it really sickens me to say that, because that shouldn't be the way. Sir Alex Ferguson is in the stands looking on at us. Bobby Charlton's in the stands. I mean, come on. This isn't United. We don't have any players out there that fit, in my opinion, fit the sort of technical ability that a United player should have. Juan Mata came on. He's one player that should, that does do that. But we don't have a real quality playmaker in midfield now. We should just go and get Zlatan and Rooney and freaking Schweinsteiger on loan. Yeah, Schweini, get rid of Jose because they didn't like him, but he's a quality. We're missing out on. Obviously, I'm just bullshitting here, but we're missing out on quality players, is what I'm saying. We don't have any leaders in the team. Lacking leaders, lacking bottle, lacking balls. Pogba certainly doesn't have any of those. He's got little raisins. What is he even doing? I swear he didn't look like he gave a shit while he was sat on the bench. I'm talking about Pogba, weren't even playing, but the fact is, there's a few players in this team that don't deserve to be in there. Few players that don't fit the United way, just like our poxy manager doesn't. And I just think the only way we're going to turn a corner and improve things now is to make a change and to get Zidane in, get Pochettino in, get Giggsy in to end of the season. Whatever you have to do to make a change, it has to happen sooner rather than later, because United are just spiralling uncontrollably further down, further away from the likes of Liverpool and City. They've got too much quality. They're too good. The style of football is entertaining and attacking, and it's just classy football. I must say, Liverpool battered us today. They battered us, and that should not be going on ever. But yeah, fair enough at Anfield, tough game, but really good side Liverpool, and they ripped us apart though. Yeah, we defended pretty well up until 2-1, but still, the class is totally different. I'll tell you something, Liverpool got great players. Salah, he's one of the best players in the world. Mane, they got great players, but the fact is, Manchester United are certainly in attacking positions, have players that are on par with those players. And we should be able to play that sort of style of football at times as well. Really attacking. But Jose doesn't play to our strengths. No. He has freaking Dwindlov and players like that at the back there. And we don't have a good enough defence. And he wants to play a defensive branded style of football with those shite defensive players. You can't do that. Play to your strengths at least. Liverpool played to the strengths last year. They were much more ropey at the back. This year, with acquisitions like Van Dijk and just the way that they're playing, Robertson, we saw what a flying wing back he is today, and it's been great for them. Arnold, there's lots of players that Liverpool have that we don't have at the back there, and that is a big problem. They didn't used to have that. They've improved that. I mean, if we had Van Dijk in the back there, I'm sure we'd be a much better outfit overnight, just like they were. We are lacking in those positions. Jose's right. He should have had more signings in the summer, but that's the board being incompetent and not understanding the necessity that we needed to improve those areas. We absolutely did need to improve those areas. Okay, maybe the players aren't available, whatever, but we were so close to getting Maguire in through the door, I'm sure. We'd have just paid a little bit more money like some of the other clubs did. Maybe we'd have got our man, and maybe we would have had a leader at the back there. Maybe we would have had someone who's got a bit more bottle and balls and would improve the side immediately and has experience in the league. But again, I think this, it's just a clusterfuck at United. From the top down, we're getting it from every angle. It's X-rated at the club at the moment. We are doing such a bad job on every level. The management, the players aren't showing the quality out there. Sometimes players can drag a bad manager through a spell if they're just that good, and they go out there and they surprise and they perform and they put in great performances. We don't have players like that, man. We've got a bunch of bottlers. We don't have players that can grab the game by the scruff of the neck and change things. That's why I was saying that we'd be better off getting those MLS players on loan, like Zlatan and Schweini and Rooney, just even though they're old, because at least they are leaders. At least they do lead. At least they have bottle and can change a game and do outclass. And I'm not saying we should do that. Maybe one of them, though. It wouldn't hurt because we're lacking in serious quality. Lacking in quality in midfield, lacking in quality at the back there. Something needs to be done in January. But you know what? I don't want to really see much more investment in Jose. I think he's had his time. He's had his opportunities. This is just the final nail in the coffin for me. But it's probably not. There's probably going to be about 15 more nails in this coffin. Because the board are too stupid to see that this is just hurting the club. The longer he stays in charge, the more negative the vibe is, the more pressure grows. Where are we going to finish this season? What is the state of the club going to be like at the end of the season if Jose Mourinho is still in charge, you know? Fact is, he won't be at the end of the season if things continue as they are, but somebody else should come in, new approach, have the January transfer window, just turn us around. You know, Southampton won today against Arsenal. New manager in there, they got rid of Mark Hughes. Arguably, you know, Mourinho's not really done a better job than him, had much more time, much more money as well. But Mark Hughes got the sack, they got a new manager. They just beat Arsenal today because it's a new approach. Players have to perform to impress the manager if they want to play, if they want to see their careers cemented at the club. They've got to perform from the off, and it gives you a shot in the arm. We are desperate for that right now. We are desperate for that sort of injection into the club of a bit of bottle and a bit of competitive nature, because I think we just got a bunch of prima donnas at the club collecting 300k a week, buying a new Bentley or whatever every week, living it up, who don't really care about the club, don't really care about being the very best that they can be. And that is something that Sir Alex Ferguson was always amazing at, is choosing these players and weeding out these players that just didn't quite have the right mentality, that weren't consummate professionals. You know, there's that famous story of him going to break up a party with Lee Sharp and Giggsy, and, you know, Giggsy he obviously worked with and got him on the straight and narrow, you know, obviously not personal life sort of issues, but in terms of partying and all that, being a consummate professional, he played until he was 40 because of his dedication and professionalism. Lee Sharp, on the other hand, you know, his career, he was on bloody Love Island or whatever a couple of years later. So Sir Alex, he got rid of Pogba. He saw something in his character he didn't like. There's no question in his technical ability when he's on form, but the problem is he's not consistent enough. He only plays when he wants to play. He doesn't perform for United. So, and I just think that Jose Mourinho is not getting the best out of any of these players. We've got a bad set of players, bad board. It's just a complete nightmare at the club, lads and lasses. Everybody who's tuning in right now, even you dirty Scousers, please do us a favour. Chuck us a like on this video. Get your thoughts and opinions in about the state of this club at the moment. Manchester United are so much... How are we so much worse than Liverpool? How are we so much worse than them? They ain't won anything for bloody years. Yet at the moment, they're just a much better side than us. They could go on to win the trophy. You know, I really hope that they don't, because I just like the fact they haven't won it for so long. And I'd hate for that to go away, because then it's us that haven't won it for a while. Do you know what I mean? A good few years. So it shouldn't be this way. It may be like this for a good while, because, like I say, I just feel that they've got a good manager. They've got one of the best managers that they could have. They've got some of the best players in the league. They seem to have a board that are prepared to invest now. And the more results they get, the return out there that they get on the pitch, the more I'm sure they will invest, because it seems like they're those kind of owners. Where our owners, unfortunately, I think they just see it as a commercial enterprise, and they're just trying to siphon money from the club. And yeah, they do enough. They've spent a reasonable amount. But the last window was an indicator that maybe they're not just prepared to compete with the other clubs around that are signing the top quality players. Everybody who's tuning in, thanks so much for stopping by. I'm going to go back, make sure I've not missed any super chats, because I do appreciate all the legends that send those in. Thanks for getting involved, as ever, to everybody who's tuning into the comments right now. Have your thoughts. Get in there. I want to read your comment out. I'll try to do that as we carry on, so get in there. James Arnold in the house. How's it going, James? You must be gutted, mate, as I am. He says, hang Jose in the morning. Oh, it's a very strong comment there. You know, maybe just an effigy, otherwise she would be getting done for murder. But to be honest, what's his hotel room number? That's what I want to know. James, I mean, the time has come for Jose Mourinho to leave. Whether or not, he's not going to resign. He made that statement the other day through his agent saying, you know, he's got a job, a contract, all this, the club are happy with him. Bullshit, but the board need to make the decision. The club have to axe Jose now. I'm sorry, because this circus cannot simply go on. You know, we've got Mr. Bean as the ringleader. We've got Pogba as the lion tamer. I mean, it's like, we're just a complete embarrassment, really, to Manchester United. You know, there's a lot of clubs out there that would still love to be in this position, but United, from what we were to what we are now, it is a complete embarrassment. We're just second best to all these top teams. We should be able to compete with these teams. When we come up against them, we cannot compete with these teams. Alex Rudd in the house. How's it going, Alex? My favourite gooner stopping by. Come on, the Saints. But anyway, he says Jose is a joke. How do you leave Pogba on the bench? How is that a joke move, Alex? I'm going to be honest with you now. You must rate Pogba a lot more highly than I do. I know on paper he costs 90 mil. He's on 300k a week. He's a World Cup winner. But in a United shirt, he can't keep hold of the ball. He's not good enough. And I just don't think he has the consistency or even the ability right now to play well for Manchester United, because there's a lot of pressure on him. You see that in performances. You see that the amount of times he gives away possession and makes errors and mistakes. You know, he's more trouble than he's worth at the moment, Paul Palmer. Maybe a new manager coming in could give him the shot the army needs, put an arm around him, stroke his ego, you know, give him a haircut, dye his hair for him, you know, massage it in there. Do whatever it needs to take to make that prima donna happy so he can go out there and perform the pitch, because Jose certainly can't do that. Jose has had a terrible performing Paul Pogba. Whether or not you want to blame that on Paul Pogba or Jose is up to you. But the fact is, I don't think Paul Pogba deserves to be played in the side right now. I'm sorry. So I know he chose Matic. I don't think he should either. There's certain players that I think played themselves out of contention for a spot who are just in too bad a form. They do not deserve to be wearing the shirt of Manchester United. Thanks so much for your super chat there, Alex Rudd, you absolute legend. Alex Rincon, another Alex legend, comments in and says, I'm so sick of this pig. 6 years of this shit. Woodward out, Mourinho out. All these players need a hard look in the mirror. It sickens me, man. Ed Woodward sitting on there with his potato-shaped face, talking to Bobby Charlton, whispering stuff. What are you whispering, mate? Hopefully you're whispering, oh, Mr. Bean's getting sacked in the morning. And Bobby Charlton's going, yes, yes. You know, because I cannot see how the club can continue with the manager. Woodward should definitely go as well. He's done a terrible job, in my opinion, really. He doesn't deserve to be in the role that he is at the club. Somebody else should have an opportunity, because he's a problem as well. Definite problem. Jose is as well. But the transition, the change, it has to happen sooner rather than later, because this is just a never-ending pit of monotonous, shitty, second-rate football, defensive garbage that United do not deserve. You know, United fans don't deserve to watch. We have come to expect, okay, you can't win every year. Under Sir Alex, we were spoiled rotten. You can't win every year, but at least try and play like United. We keep saying this, we keep talking about this. People want us to play the United way. It's not hard, Jose. Go for it more. Try and score goals. Stop being so defensive. Stop setting us up. Loads of men behind the ball all the time. You know, just let the players express themselves a bit more out there, because we do have attacking talents that can compete with the best clubs in the league. And given the opportunities, given the right service, given the right system, I'm sure they can flourish. But with Jose's negative system, nobody seems to be able to flourish in this shit. Gung Shi, how's it going, Gungers? Comments in and says, for F's sake, get this joke of a man out of our club now. I cannot take another minute at that silver goblin prick. Oh, I totally agree, mate. I mean, you've said it there. He is a complete goblin. He doesn't fit the club. He is too negative. He's not getting the best out of these players. I mean, it's just, how many of these bad results are we going to take? He keeps losing. I mean, surely this is the nail in the coffin. You just got done. Totally outclassed. I've called this video Outclassed by Scousers, man. And there may be the odd game here or there over the last 20 years where they have outclassed us, but most of the time, man, it's a competitive fixture. But today it was like a training session for them. We're playing the defensive unit and they're playing the attacking unit. And they totally freaking attacked and dominated us off the park, really. It could have been more. David De Gea had a very good game, I thought. Not really his fault that his clearance, for the third, or was it this is the second one. It's not really his fault that he put it into a path of Shaqiri or a Liverpool player and then it was put in the net. The third Liverpool goal wasn't his fault. It was just a deflection that he could do nothing about. I think he had a really good game. Again, other than that, I'm struggling to see who performed. Yeah, Jesse Lingard had some nice footwork at times, but other times he gave the ball away consistently. It was just a complete calamity. Fellaini, I thought, did well when he came on. He did, breaking things up and having a bit of a hand in some nice attacking moves, but that ended quickly after their second goal came. It's a calamity. But yeah, thank you, Gungshi, for your super chat there, mate. I agree. It's time to make the change. Time to chop him out of the club. You know, see you later on, BDO. We've had enough of you. You were entertaining for one season. You did well for a season. But you're a dinosaur, mate. It's time to lay yourself to rest, mate. Become extinct in the game of football because, you know, there's managers out there that we can see, like, I hate to say it, like City's and Liverpool's manager, that are progressive, that are forward-thinking, that do have great style and finesse to the way that their teams play football. That's what we should have because we are United. But we don't bloody have that. Everybody who's tuning in, thanks so much for stopping by. Do us a favour, chuck us a like on it. If you're new to this channel, we always talk about football, United, all things to do with Manchester United at this club, on this channel about the club. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button and stick around. That was like a bit of a Jose Mourinho sort of thing to do there, but he's got to go. The time has come. He is having a complete nightmare at the club. I'm sick of his face. I'm sick of the sight of him, man. I'm sick of the sight of him on the bench there, moaning all the time. Moan, Mourinho, that's all he bloody does. Nemo Nobody comments and says, you probably had more rants this season than all the previous seasons combined. LOL. Calm down, pig, mate. You'll give yourself a prolapse. I'm not going to read that out, pal, but yeah. I can't calm down because the state of this club is a complete joke and a travesty right now. How dare the board keep that man in charge, allowing him to plummet this club into the ground, to undo all of the work that we have done over the last 20, 30 years, knocking Liverpool off their perch. And now they're knocking us off our perch. Today we're by outclassing us and they could go on and lift this trophy this season. And we're nowhere to be seen to compete. You know, I can't be happy about the state of this club. It's just a complete joke. I mean, I've almost come to accept it now. You know, I've come to accept the fact that this season it's just not going to happen for us. But the longer he stays at the club, the more of a joke it becomes because the board are saying that we're not prepared to make that necessary change in order to get the right man in who can maybe who can maybe do something and maybe turn us around and get us playing the right way. So I think it's just time for the vital change to come now. Ridwan Abu Bakar comments, everybody thanks for commenting here. I'm going to read out a bunch of your comments now. Ridwan comments and says, potato head must go. I agree. Take Mourinho with you, take Pogba with you, get these people out of the club that don't fit and don't deserve to represent Manchester United anyway. And do one. I totally agree, man. Kumaran Silva Kumar says, get out of the club, Jose, now. A lot of people not happy with Jose. I believe the time has come. A lot of you do. I don't see how it's justified that he continues in the role. Certainly not beyond the end of December, because it would just be completely wrong to have investment in the January transfer window under this current regime, under this current style of football, with this current setup, the way he's playing it. It would be a complete joke to allow that man to spend more money with this terrible system that is working out for us at the moment. We need to make a change, 100%. Ahmet Gosa comments and says, you're getting sacked in the morning, Mourinho, which would be better for you lot. Honestly, I support Liverpool, but I've never seen Man United so scared and defensive. Even at Anfield, you need Zidane. I mean, I totally agree. Even at Anfield, that's the thing. Liverpool was so much better than us in every department. They really took the game to us. We just kept numbers behind the ball, hoping to play long balls at times, hit them on sweeping counters at times. You know, we did have a few moments in the game. I think, start of the second half, we actually did okay for a while until Liverpool scored again. But yeah, I mean, we're so afraid to do anything. The players just completely lacking confidence. The system, though, is the main shackling problem. That is what is stopping these players from expressing themselves and actually going out there and competing with these Liverpool players, because they are given the freedom to express themselves out there, and our players are just not. They're shackled by Jose's system. He's way too defensive, way too negative. He's just a complete turd at United, and we need to flush him out. We need to flush him down the drain. Jose Turdinho, it's time you went on your merry way. Mohammed Kayam says, what do you think of Lukaku as a striker? I personally think he's a great striker, but not necessarily for Manchester United. He doesn't really fit the bill of United striker. Like I was saying in a previous video, if you look at United strikers, certainly since the Sir Alex period, yeah, we've had a couple of big lummoxes here and there, but it's mostly elegant players, skillful, technical players, or great finishers, or great, players that can get in behind, like Chicharito or Van Nistelrooy or Michael Owen, and then you've got players like Dwight York and Andy Cole, and yeah, they're physical players, but they're not like a big lummox who doesn't possess quite the level of technical ability of those guys. We always had good technical forwards: Ollie Gunnar, Teddy Sheringham. There's plenty of them, and we used to play in an elegant style, a technical style. Lots of nice little intricate passing in the final third. Balls coming into Rude, in the 6-yard box, banging them all away. We don't do that anymore. We don't get enough people in behind. Rashford, in my opinion, fits that style a lot more than Lukaku. But Jose doesn't want to play the United way. He doesn't want to play with those types of players and play that type of system. He wants to play to a big Emil Heskey lummox that is Romelu, because he's not performed, he's not been good enough. Yeah, okay, he holds the ball up okay at times, but his technical ability is nowhere. Today, he got the ball numerous occasions, and I could think you could maybe just take it to the side, get half a yard and have a pop there. And I think he would have previously done that if his confidence was right and if he was allowed to in the current system. But no, he turns around and he passes it back. And he did that a lot of times. And I know, yeah, he's playing as a hold-up man as well, and that is his job to get the ball up there, retain the ball and feed somebody else in. But at the same time, there was opportunities where he could have just tried to fashion a shot and he just didn't. Doesn't have the confidence. And I don't think I think he's a good youthful player to have around the club. Certainly shouldn't really be on the money that he's on. He hasn't justified that, at least. But in his previous career as a footballer in the Premier League, he's been great. He's been a goal scoring machine. Doesn't fit this philosophy, doesn't fit this club. Or even Jose, it's just not working out for him. I'd like to think that we could get a new manager in it and he would also instantly improve, as would Pogba and certain players. But I just think that maybe they're just not quite as good as we think they are. Maybe somebody with a certain style of football that would complement those players could get the best out of them. All I know is we need to at least give somebody the opportunity to try and do that. RetroUnlimited.com comments: Chelsea sacked Jose on the 17th of December 2015. Hope the anniversary serves him well tomorrow. Well, that's really interesting. Imagine if that happened. 3 years on, he gets sacked again. I think it's justified. How can anybody want Jose Mourinho to continue as manager? At the end of the day, he's the one steering the ship. He's the one who's got the team set up so defensively, allowing our bitter Scouse rivals to dominate us for 90 minutes. That's what he's done. He's set this club up after spending 285 million or whatever it is and having best part of 2.5 years to work his magic at the club. And he has got us second best in every department to the Scousers, man. It's just not on. Carl H comments and says, thought United were bad under Moyes and LVG. Now, not a patch on this shit. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it gets even shitter. Because I think you're just about right now. I think it's even worse now. The manager is doing an even worse job now because he's had much more time than those guys. He's had way more money than those guys. Moisey bought Fellaini in. That's it in the summer window. And you could argue that the style of football was better. You could argue that the position that we're in, it's comparable. It's no better. Yet it's years of progress. It's years of money spent. And it's years of faith in this Portuguese Mr. Bean that he can actually do something. And apart from that good first season where we won all the second-rate cups, he's done piss all. He's done piss all, lads. And that the board is still there. He's still living in a hotel. They're still paying him an obscene amount of money. And yeah, we'd have to pay an obscene amount of money to terminate the contract. It's money well spent at this stage. He is plummeting the club down. Look where we are in the league. This shouldn't be the way. Look at the style. Forget the league position. Forget the results. Look at the style of this club. It's not United. It's not attacking. It's not the United way. It's nowhere near what it should be. So he's got to go. He's got to go. He really has to go. Come on. It's a sham that he's still here for this long. It is. James Arnold says, I would not trust Jose with the shopping money. I wouldn't trust him to go down Co-op and get the right list of 10 items, this prick. Because his selections, he continues to play Frankenstein Matic in there, Twatchit, Static, Matic, stinking up the place, yet he still selects him. He still selects him. And there's opportunities to players that he's not giving out when he should be, based on form, based on consistency, based on actually deserving to play. He's not doing it. He doesn't fit the United ethos. He doesn't fit the philosophy. He's just a complete negative bastard. Oh, another super chat here from Gungshi. Thanks for getting involved as ever. He says, it's time to get back to basics and get a manager who understands what United is all about. Maybe Giggs or someone else who knows the United way and who can motivate these players. I said it before, I don't think you could go far wrong from doing that. Yeah, he doesn't have the managerial experience that you might necessarily want, but I do think there's a lot that comes from being the most decorated and successful Premier League player ever. Playing under the most decorated and successful Premier League manager ever for all the time that he did. You've got to pick up a thing or two. Certainly about how to play, how to represent, how to fight for Manchester United. He knows all about that, I'm sure. He could definitely teach these players, these band of melters. They do not deserve to be wearing the United shirt. Half of them anyway should be sold, should be moved on. 100%. 100%. You know, we're signing Smalling up for new contracts and shite like that. It's laughable, man. I know he's been a decent servant to the club. He's had good seasons here and there. He doesn't deserve a new bloody contract right now. Somebody wants to take him for a free. I'd consider it. So, thanks, Gunshi. I mean, I agree with you. I think we need somebody who... Get Ryan Giggs in there with Roy Keane as assistant manager. You know, Giggsy's the tactician. Giggsy's the one who's managing the club. Roy Keane's the enforcer. He just goes in there and headbutts people and they're playing shite at half-time and stuff. That would be much better because they at least know how to play for United and know how to compete for United. We don't have a bunch of competitive spirit players out there anymore. We just got a bunch of melters. You know, Liverpool, look at Liverpool. Look how good Liverpool are. It's just wrong. It's totally wrong. They shouldn't be able to do that to us. They shouldn't be able to dominate us for all that time. Lads and lasses, I'm getting more and more wound up by the minute. I need to go and relax. I need to go and chill now, but I really do appreciate you guys getting involved here. What can I say? United are just a shit house at the moment. Liverpool are way better. We just got dominated, schooled by them, man. Jose's got to go. He's a terrible manager these days. He's over the hill. He's lost it, or at least he's not the right fit for this club. This great club, Manchester United, which still has more freaking trophies, Premier League trophies, than that shithouse club Liverpool, who battered us today. And until they lift the Premier League trophy, what really can they say apart from at the moment they're better than us? You haven't won shite. Anyway, credit where credit's due. They're a great side with a great manager. That's bullshit, man. I'll see you soon anyway. Thanks so much for stopping by on the video. Everybody who's tuning in, over 560 legends at the moment, and a bunch of dirty Scousers are watching this video right now. Smash that like button, whoever you are. Thanks for stopping by on the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinion. If I haven't read out your comments, I apologise, lots coming through. Come back once this video is published, come back in a few minutes. Comment on the video. I'll respond to you. I want to give you my thoughts. I want to, you know, give you something to talk about from your break of robbing cars if you're a Scouser. So do get involved in the comment section. Thanks so much for stopping by. You can follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Please do that. As ever, thanks for stopping by on the channel. I'll be keeping you up to date with all things United, all things football, and all things pigs. This is the Flying Pig HD. Sort your fucking life out, United. Sack Jose Mourinho, the Portuguese Mr. Bean. The time has come. Drop the curtain on the prick, drop an anvil on the prick, drop a bomb on the prick, whatever you have to do to get him out of the club. You know, it's like I'm a Celebrity's on recently. Harry read that one. I'd rather have him at the moment. We've got Jose Mourinho. I'm a calamity. Get me out of here.